Hey, what's going on, guys? Cloud of Truth here with some more Battlefield 3 gameplay, and today I've got some rush defense for you all on Markaz Monolith. Going to be running the Recon class with a Mark 11 mod. Got the ACOG scope, the bipod, and laser sight on it. M1911 suppressed for a sidearm, and this actually turns out to be a pretty good round for me. I think I finished 12-2, end up going top of the scoreboard, which when I play Recon I usually don't end up doing that well, so I was pretty pleased with how I did during this game. And also, this gameplay here is really is an example of actually what I want to talk with you guys about today, and that is something that I think is very important on Rush, especially if you play Rush a lot. So you really, I think, know this concept, understand that it's there, but I don't really hear it talked about all that much, and I think it's something that should really be emphasized more and puts really, I don't know, show the importance of it and why it can really help determine who can win the match. It's not like a guaranteed outcome, you know, if you do this or do that, it's going to help you win, but it's something that can definitely contribute to it. And that is, this is going to be from either attacking or defending perspective. Mainly going to talk about from a defender's perspective because that's what I'm playing today. But this concept is just winning the first wave. Now, for those of you guys know in Rush, basically as soon as you spawn in, at least if the server, I think, is a default setting, if you play on just normal, it's just go time. As soon as you spawn in, there's no waiting time, it's just go. You spawn and start running. So it's very, very important on Rush to make sure that you are getting into position as a defender or rushing up there, rushing up there as an attacker, and don't let the defenders have a chance to get set up. Now, generally the rush round starts if everyone spawns in right away and they're all trying to run up and get to their either defending position or run up to attack. Usually there's going to be a huge clash of infantry, of armor, and it's just kind of chaotic at first. You got vehicles pouring in, as you guys saw at the start. We had a tank coming in, a helicopter, had I think one of those new, was it like the Rhino coming in as well. So it was just kind of chaotic at first, and there's just vehicles and infantry everywhere, and it's just kind of a madhouse at first, but whoever can really win and survive that first wave is going to get an upper hand as in the entire match. And for defenders, the first wave is so important. Now, it's not a guaranteed thing where if you win that first wave, you're going to win the entire match. That's not what I'm going at here, because obviously you guys know, you've seen videos where you get, arm the objective and it gets destroyed with 0 tickets left, or you defuse one with 0 tickets left. But it's something that I think is very, very important, where if you use it correctly, if you use that, I guess, small victory correctly, you can really help your team win. So as a defender, let's say you win the first wave. How do you use that to your advantage? How do you capitalize on it now? Well, one thing you need to do is, this is what I like to do, is slowly push forward, gain ground to your advantage. But you need to be careful when doing so. As you saw right there, I turned around and had to kill a guy who was near that MCOM. That's something as a defender team, if you do push forward and try to take ground, you need to be careful of. You don't want to over push. If you start throwing, your teammates start running way down there, kind of getting close to the enemy spawn, you're going to leave so many gaps and lanes open for the attackers to sneak by and get through. And that's something that you need to be very careful of. It's just almost like you're just checking every corner kind of thing, and you're slowly moving forward and trying to gain ground, because in Rush, for me, it's in a sense of like Conquest. Whoever can hold the most ground, gain the most territory, is usually going to end up winning. If you guys, for those of you that know American football, and you know that the offensive and defensive line every play, they're going at it with each other. And wherever the line of scrimmage moves every play, which is basically where the ball is when the play starts, wherever that line is, wherever it moves in terms of who pushes each other back and forth, that's generally how the play is going to end up. If the offense pushes the defense backwards, usually the offense is going to gain yards. Same thing, if the defense pushes the offense backwards, the offense is going to lose yards. It's kind of the same thing in Rush. If the defenders can push the attackers back, in a sense of they gain territory, they're limiting the friendly area for the attackers. They're going to give themselves a better chance to win. And same thing with the attackers. If they can slowly push the defenders back, the defenders may end up losing just because of that, because they're limiting the amount of territory that they have, amount of land space, and just basically the advantage positions, the positions that are very tactical, that give you the best cover, that are good for launching attacks of, or even counterattacks, things like that. It's something that you really use to your advantage, and that, to me personally, I think it really boils down to that first wave. If you can win that and you can slowly push forward, gain that ground, gain those positions, you can use it to your advantage. Not only as a defender, like I said before, or making sure that you carefully push forward and you're checking those areas and making. Oftentimes I usually will leave a few guys back at the base just to kind of just to be safe, because you never know when someone's going to sneak by. But even for attackers, if there are specific buildings that you know defenders are in, and you can clear them out, get in there and use that to your advantage now. You've got that territory, you've got that area, use it to your advantage. And once again, I think it really does kind of go back to that first wave of whoever can win that. And as you can see from this gameplay here, our team did a pretty darn good job of winning that first wave and using it to our advantage. Pushing forward into these buildings right here, which are really very important when it comes to Markov's Monolith, because there's not a lot of cover when running around the map. Sure, there's kind of little shipping crates and cars and concrete walls and things like that, but as far as just big buildings and things like that, this is it. This is these 3 main buildings here. And so gaining control of these is very important, and not allowing any enemies to get inside of here and use it as like a spawn point, use it as a just place to kind of set up and pick defenders off of is really important when it comes to rush. So let me guys know in the comment section what you all thought of this. If you thought that this is a tactic that you guys maybe you used all the time, like not all the time, but it's something that you find yourself doing, but maybe you don't even recognize that you're doing it, and it's almost like a concept that is just not really, at least I don't find it talked about too much, but I think it's something that's really important, but it's not something that's going to guarantee you to win the match. I'm not sitting here saying if you do this, you're going to win. That's not what I'm trying to say, because obviously the things can go wrong. Plenty of things can go wrong when doing these kind of tactics. If you're pushed forward too far as a defending team, if you basically let the attackers sneak by, there's a lot of other mistakes you can make. If you just simply lose gunfights and lose territory, it's going to really hurt your chances. But in terms of just getting an upper hand in the match, just winning that first wave will provide your team a huge advantage and a much better chance of winning. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay. If you did, consider giving it a thumbs up. Appreciate it very much. And other than that, see you guys next time. Bye.